Hey everyone, this is Nichelle, the president and intern at the Cameron University Wesley Foundation. The Wesley Foundation is a Christian community that reaches students, grow disciples, and send servants. And you're listening to the CU Wesley podcast.
Hey everyone, I'm Michaela Drain, the Wesley Director at the Cameron University Wesley Foundation. So in the last episode, we heard the theology of artificial intelligence, but this leaves us with a few questions. So today, we'll turn the conversation over to the group for discussion. So at our discussions, we are welcoming and loving Christians who are learning and growing in grace. And this episode is not meant to convert anyone or show how brilliant we are. Instead, we are sharing the stories of our lives in conversation with the theology. So if you want more cited sources, clearly lined out doctrine with high quality editing, then I suggest that you listen to the previous episode on the theology of artificial intelligence. Because today, the voices you hear are students and friends of the CU Wesley. In this discussion, we are gathering around the table and sharing the stories of our lives of faith. So you'll hear some vulnerable things and maybe some things that you don't agree with. And during this episode, we ask you to challenge yourself to sit at the table with us. And in these answers, don't listen to whether they are right. Instead, listen to where they are in their spiritual journey. Hear how God is moving in their lives and how they are wrestling with their understanding of artificial intelligence. So as you listen to the discussion, there will be a few questions, but the overall question for the evening is, what is the role of faith in the AI debate? For now, let's go to the group for the discussion. So, my first question for the group is, have you used AI? If so, what for?
Hi, my name is Nichelle Lehman, and I used AI to see what the AI friend was like, and they give general answers and suggestions. And everything's redirected back to me like a therapist, basically. So I honestly felt like the AI was asking me questions so I could think for myself, like redirect everything towards me. Like, why do you feel sad? If this makes you sad, why are you thinking about it? So I think it's good so far, like redirecting questions back to yourself. But I don't think it's good in a sense of if you want a personal response, because AIs aren't personal. They just collect.
Hello, my name is Andrew, and I have used AI for mainly two reasons. One reason is to mess around with the AI and see if it can come up with ridiculous stories that doesn't exactly rely on any pre-established franchise or characters. And I have seen like a few other what inspired me to do the stories part is that I've seen several YouTubers and streamers. They use AI models such as ChatGPT or dedicated story writing models such as InfoKit to make prompts for the AI to make the most ridiculous stories possible, such as a video game character would win in a tournament. But I have also used AI for a more serious purpose, and that is to try to understand how to code in C++. While I am familiar with the basics and at least understand the classes and objects, so as user-defined functions, I use the AI to review code snippets from like an example program in class to see if the AI can break down what exactly each line does. And not only do I use it to break down all the existing code, but I also try to ask AI to explain the more difficult things about coding and try to simplify it in a way I can understand it.
I like hearing from that perspective because I think I've kind of used it in a similar way, but not for coding. I recently rewrote my resume by using ChatGPT, and having the information already, I just copied and pasted my resume and was like, from this resume, could you write 5 bullet points, and then also from the job description that ties in. So there was a specific way to write it to where it would pull from both my resume and the job description and come up with an answer. So I'm sure coding wise, that's also really cool to see it pull out those different lines that are important, or just how it comes together, because that is like its own little language, and that's a lot to sift through. So thank you for sharing that. So this is an editing note. We had a student who started to answer about how everyone has used some form of AI whenever they do autocorrect or answer an email. So here's the rest of his response.
You have like a word pop up that it thinks what you are going to say, or like finish spelling it out. That's AI. Oh. It's predictive text, and it's learned through multiple instances of what you said, and so it's predicting what you will probably say. I've used it that way. I've used Excel to interpret data, and then I've also used ChatGPT to study, create quizzes to check myself and stuff like that.
So my next question is probably based more on the Terminator films than anything else, but I feel like every time I look up AI, there's a little bit of fear involved for people. So my next question is, should we fear AI? Why or why not?
I think we shouldn't fear AI, but fear the creator of the AI. Okay. AIs are basically expendable. You know how they say like men die faster because they're expendable. Men can be replaced. I feel like robots and AIs are easily replaceable. But the problem with AI is it's gonna be like a failed product. So instead of helping a business, will it just steal the business information and delete it? And it'll be the creator's fault of the AI, not the AI itself. So people are flawed. So AI should be feared in a sense of, did the creator create the AI very flawed? AIs are like impressionable children. Yes. So whatever it collects, and it chooses what to respond to. So I feel very neutral. Don't fear the AI itself, but fear the intent behind it, whoever the creator is.
But yeah, basically it kind of ties into what Nichelle was talking about the creator. And I also feel, or fear of the creator, but I also feel that if we continue with AI and we continue to let AI infiltrate our systems, then it puts us in a weird cycle of depending on robots instead of depending on humans. I can't really give a good example of that, honestly. I just think that, like, when I think of the system of America and like the institutions, like, will we have AIs as teachers? Will we have AIs as government? And so if we continue to get comfortable with this, how far will they go? And so that is the fear.
I would say for now, or at least within these last couple of years, I don't think we should fear the AI models themselves. It's definitely like, so as both Michelle and Adriana said about fearing the creator of the AI instead of the AI itself, I would say that one big concern about how our AI is being used is exactly to what extent will the developers and the researchers behind the models stop? How exactly are they gonna pick which data are they gonna use for their models? Because since the ChatGPT model 3.5 only goes up to 2020, and we're currently on version 4, which is definitely gonna take some newer text and information. It can present a problem for the privacy of our data, because there's a debate between if artists have a right to say if their art is allowed to be used in an image generator model, or if they can co-opt out of it. For example, the Microsoft Bing AI image generator, it currently generates some of the most accurate images so far, and common pitfalls that other models have, such as like multiple fingers, deformed body structures, and sometimes the wrong lighting and closing folds, as well as just a bunch of general artist fundamentals being broken, since the AI doesn't exactly understand what exactly is the intent behind an artist's image. They just see it as a bunch of pixels. To wrap up this wandering rant, for now, we shouldn't fear AI itself. We should fear the companies that are behind the AI, and whether if they're gonna get their data through the right of consent to all of us.
So at some point we got distracted and started talking about how AI is taking the jobs of artists and maybe even some other people. So this is where this next comment is springing from. So this is going to sound silly, but I watched a K-drama where they had AI businesses. And so one of the businesses was like a security camera business, and their technology recognized faces. And so they just had the security camera be a security guard. and alert people if there was like intruders or people that shouldn't be on the campus property because they could recognize the faces. This is a K-drama, but I'm sure that those arguments are also happening in real life. And so in the TV show, it was already taking people's jobs and there was riots and it was really hard for them. And I can't imagine what that's really like in real life because I'm sure that was a drama. The security guards got to be able to talk face to face to the AI company and complain, but that doesn't happen in real life. A lot of the times they just get laid off and they don't really get explanations why. Or they don't get a face to talk to. Yet again, we're talking about technology, so they either get an email or they get a company name. They don't get a person to talk to. They get more technology to talk to. So, yeah. All right, so this is a discussion about AI and faith, so we're going to get a little bit religious. So people in Silicon Valley, i.e. especially Elon Musk, are trying to upload their consciousness to the cloud. So my question to you is, do we think that uploading our consciousness to things like the cloud would count as eternal life?
I would say no. It is scripturally, it's not eternal life. To have eternal life is to have a soul, and the soul has to go somewhere. And there is a weird sci-fi theory out there that I watched on YouTube that uploading your conscious to the cloud is you're basically the genie in the bottle. I think to upload a conscious to a cloud, they would have to try to somehow capture your energy or your soul, so to speak, and technically that would be like the genie in the bottle. But once again, getting back on track, no, you have to follow all commandments and you have to answer to God from a religious standpoint, or answer to the higher power that the person believes in.
For me, definitely not. Because if I look at it from a technical standpoint, well, it does seem like the cloud can last forever. The cloud needs its servers to contain your consciousness. And within these servers are some storage devices that can be like outdated as we progress further technologically. And there might be a chance that the cloud will go down sometimes, and while there is a chance we might have a backup for like a previous version of those servers, if then it is going to be hard to migrate all of the consciousness stored in those stored in the current current storage devices to the brand new ones. And so along with like the not having a soul, like Michelle said, it just, for me, it does not make it technologically sense.
So you guys stumped me when you brought up the topic of AI and faith, and so I had to call a professor and like actually do real research. And so this was one of the questions that she brought up. And it's like, that is a great question, ma'am. I do not know the answer either. So I thought I'd stump you all too. So my next question is, what are some ways that we can utilize AI for helping in our ministry tasks? So things that we have to do at church. What are some ways that we can use AI for that?
Hello, it's Adriana. And I think that some way that AI could help for ministry tasks could be, I feel like this is a simple answer, but it could just be like simple stuff such as like alerting church members. But I guess that's what social media is for. So, yeah, or it could give like background information about the church or the history of it. I think that's a way that they could utilize AI.
So we got distracted and really started not talking about what AI could do as of right now and how AI is currently, but we started to dream about the future of AI, especially when it comes to physically being present in our churches.
Counting the seating. They tell the pastor how many people showed up. They'll count amount the money the church received perfectly. Digitally, if they have digital offering like First Assembly do, they can help pass out maybe tissue boxes more, or or they can see when someone's crying, maybe hand out a tissue. Or like give some water.
That's awesome. I love it.
And maybe they'll have like this cool new age digital pamphlet of what the lesson's gonna be. There's endless possibilities. Like maybe you can expand where church, you press a button and it's there in your home what the lesson's gonna be. So we can probably think about something like the Jetsons or something with church.
That's awesome.
I know there's a lot of things that technology is a part of, and I believe like some of the things that could help out like in the ministry probably would be like slideshows. I used to work the camera at my my home church, and a lot of the time it's hard to like follow the pastor because he's moving quick. So sometimes like maybe having like an AI assist, what I'm saying, for those things. So where you can not necessarily like have a remote to help you move the camera. Sometimes the angles aren't very smooth and you get choppy or it stops. So like that would help a lot. I also was involved in like music ministry, so it would be of like a lot of help like to have like transitions in between the songs. I know that there's accompanists for a lot of other churches, and they pay a lot sometimes to do it, but if they have very few staff to to like help out, then that could be a possibility as well.
I love your guys' ideas, and I love that it's not limited to the AI that we have now. Well, really, I guess it is the AI that we have now, because we do have like robots that can go around and serve food at restaurants and stuff. So I'm sure we have one, we could program one to pass out tissues, or point people in the right direction down the aisle as an usher. Like that'd be very different. I'm sure expensive right now, but I don't know, who knows in the future.
So, I know this is a really simple idea, but I believe that you can use AI to help out with your sermons, such as either coming up with prompts for one, or making like a base like a section that you can write your own version off of. Because the best way to use AI, it's not to completely replace a task, it's to help supplement the task. Yeah, I think that though it is like a pretty simple answer, that you can use AI for suggestions for your church.
And actually, that was one of the nerdier ways that I saw AI being used, especially for churches and for pastors, is to help with sermon writing. The pastor that I was researching, he talked about he would write his whole sermon out, and if he got stuck at a point and needed some inspiration, he would go to the AI for that inspiration about how to connect what he was talking about with the audience a little bit better, have like a fun turnaround phrase or sentence that was really catchy. So he used it a lot for inspiration for what he was already doing. So yeah, exactly what you're talking about. So somebody that didn't want to be recorded asked about the authenticity of writing sermons like this, and if the pastor was really writing all of that himself, if he had the help of AI. I feel like he said was just using it as like a form of inspiration. He would put in what he already researched himself and then have it like summarize the thought into something catchy, or like you said, it would look up keywords that people are searching already. So yeah, that type of stuff. So really cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, we're down to the very last question. So my last question is, will AI be able to perform ministry/church tasks better than ministry experts?
I think they'll be able to perform ministry better, but maybe not have or form relationships better than pastors do. Like I said, the AI robot can only redirect questions to make you think and make you expand your thoughts on thoughts, but it cannot form personal, good, healthy relationships that you can attach to with the people in the church. I really don't think it'll be able to have that shoulder for a person to cry on, but I think it can help think a person through their issues in ministry.
Just being a part of like ministry, especially like music ministry, it's key to like see other people like leading other people into worship, because that's really all it's about. Like, or not all it's about, but like the majority of, you know what I'm saying, what people see are, you know, the people's relationship with God. And if you don't have someone up there, you know, standing in the gap for you, or, you know, nudging you, or like, you know, come, you know, worship with us, or, you know, come, you know, experience the love of God with us, there's no attachment to God. Because like it's like, how are you gonna have that connection or attachment to God if AI is the one, you know, initiating the attachment? I mean, yeah, there are people behind it, but they see the machine up there doing the work.
Hello, this is Adriana again. And I'm going to say that I'm going to just say no. It's just like Derek in the show said, it's about human connection. And I truly feel that AI is not able to cultivate that. And the Bible doesn't talk about AI. It doesn't talk about robots. So you can't even go to it for advice on, is this something? And it's also something, if we're going based off the creator, which is God, he didn't create this. So this is a human, it is a human creation. And I think it possibly could push God to the back burner if we allow AI, because it's like we're looking at AI as a God instead of going to God as a God, because we think AI has all the answers, when that's not necessarily true.
So thank you for everyone who made this podcast possible. Thank you to the students who shared their stories, and for those who helped me gather the resources for the lesson. And thank you to you, the listener. Without your support, none of this would be possible. So since winter break is approaching for us at the university, we'll be taking a short break here on the CU Wesley podcast. And while there won't be a theological discussion again until February, you may hear a few short bonus episodes here and there to keep you up to date on the cool ministry opportunities happening at the CU Wesley. But until then, we'll see you later.